He's that way with his grappling. He's out with his submissions. He's just really, really fucking good. And he's the new guard, right? Like every generation comes up with a new guy who's like a new high water mark of technique. Didn't
agree.
Who cares?
You want Ilia to fight Makhachev?
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Face a couple of those guys first, like you just said.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
UFC commentator Joe Rogan has stirred the pot once again. This time he turns his attention to the potential matchup of Ilia Topuria and lightweight King Islam Makhachev. Adding to the growing intrigue, this discussion has gained momentum ever since Ilia Topuria vacated the belt to move up to 155 pounds and aimed at becoming the champ at light heavyweight. Although Khabib Nurmagomedov offered a measured stance, according to him, Topuria must first earn his place in the division by defeating top contenders.
I think if he move up and he beat somebody like Dustin Poirier or Charles Oliveira, he's next. Why not? Because there is nobody.
Building on that perspective, Nurmagomedov emphasized that Makhachev has already faced a reigning featherweight champion in Alexander Volkanovski, setting a precedent for high-stakes matchups across divisions.
At 155 pounds.
Without fighting in 155? Without? No, I don't agree. Because Islam already give chance. And people talk bad about, like, oh, he fight 2 times with Volkanovski. But the UFC pushed this fight. And this fight was good in first fight. But why Islam have to give 3 times chance for 145 champion? Why? It's not fair for 155.
Despite his stance, Khabib expressed confidence in Topuria's abilities, stating that he believes the Spaniard has the skills necessary to beat the top contenders at 155.
But if he move up and he beat somebody like Charles Oliveira, of course. You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think he can beat him.
Yeah. I like Charles, but I think so too.
No, I think Ilia can beat him.
Echoing this, Arman Sarukian weighed in on the potential matchup, acknowledging that it would be a tough and evenly matched fight. He credited Topuria for having superior striking, but noted that Topuria has never faced a wrestler of Islam's caliber.
It's a tough fight. Ilia, he has better striking, like good boxing. I don't know his like he never fought with guys who can wrestle very well like Islam, so we'll see. It's a 50-50 fight.
Adding another layer to the conversation, Michael Bisping added his voice. Bisping pointed out how Topuria made bold claims throughout his rise, changing his social media bio to featherweight champion before actually winning the title, promising to defeat Alexander Volkanovski and delivering on that, and confidently stating he would crack Max Holloway's chin, which he later did.
Everything Ilia has done so far, he has made a reality. He changed his bio to the featherweight champion of the world and he knocked out Volkanovski. He said he was going to be the first person to crack the chin of Max Holloway, and that's exactly what he did. He came into the sport, he took over. Yes, he might have took some inspiration from Conor McGregor along the way. That's what his critics love to say. But whatever he's doing it well.
Doubling down, Michael further emphasized that among all the potential contenders for the lightweight title, Ilia Topuria represents the biggest and most high-profile matchup for Islam Makhachev. He described a possible clash between the two champions as the true blockbuster fight of the division.
And I think that would be a blockbuster fight. I think Topuria versus Islam Makhachev would be bigger than Gaethje, would be bigger than Oliveira. That would be the biggest fight of them all.
Building on the growing excitement, Joe Rogan stated that there is always a sense of danger when the former featherweight champ Ilia is in the cage. He pointed out that when Topuria lands with his hands, it carries a different kind of impact, highlighting the precision, power, and sharpness in his striking. Rogan emphasized that Topuria's boxing stands out at an elite level, making him a unique threat regardless of the opponent.
It said there's always danger with Topuria. He's so dangerous. When he hits you, it's different than anybody, especially with his hands. His boxing is so high level. And there's shots that he was landing that would thud.
Expanding on his earlier praise, Rogan continued his assessment of Topuria's striking, noting that when opponents are forced into exchanges with him, Topuria's superior technique consistently takes over. He highlighted how Ilia's punches come straight down the pipe with speed and accuracy, while his hooks are crisp and his ability to manage distance is near flawless.
But he was forced into these exchanges, and when you're forced into these exchanges, Ilia has superior technique. His punches punches come straight down the pipe. His hooks are perfect. His distance management is perfect. He's super aggressive. And the consequences of getting hit by him are so great.
In line with his earlier remarks, Rogan offered a full-throated endorsement of Ilia Topuria's skill set, highlighting his speed and flawless execution across all areas of MMA. Rogan noted that Topuria is exceptionally fast, without any visible weaknesses or disadvantages, which supports the growing view that he represents the new high watermark in the sport. Joe added, Ilia, he might be the best. Rogan acknowledged that while it may be early to crown him outright, the momentum behind that belief is rapidly building based on Topuria's dominant performances and technical excellence.
But Ilia's fast as fuck. He's not slow at all. He doesn't have any disadvantages. He doesn't have any weaknesses, man. That's the thing. That's why I say he's the new high watermark. There's people that are thinking maybe he's the best pound for pound fighter alive. Like, there's a lot of discussion about that online. It's a little premature, especially when John Jones is still out there and there's other elite guys that are still out there. But Islam Makhachev's another one. You know, like, it's a real argument that he's the best pound for pound guy alive, but it's fucking close.
Shifting his focus, Rogan dismissed concerns about Ilia Topuria's resume at featherweight, stating that it doesn't matter whether he has defended the title once or not at all. For Rogan, the focus is on the excitement and magnitude of a potential showdown between Topuria and Islam Makhachev.
Ilia goes up to 55. I don't care if he only defended the title one time or didn't.
Agree.
Who cares?
You want Ilia to fight Makhachev?
Let's go.
Oh.
Yeah, but I
Let's
think
fucking go.
face a couple of those guys first, like you just said.
Yeah, it'd be
There you
nice,
go.
but also, who cares? Let's go.
In contrast to Rogan's perspective, Islam Makhachev pushed back against the idea of repeatedly facing opponents from the featherweight division. Makhachev noted that a win over Ilia Topuria would likely draw the same criticism.
I want to be double champs, and I just will waiting for my chance, because not makes sense give the chance third time from the some guy who come. If I beat, I beat the Volkanovski twice. People still say you beat small guy. Yeah. He's not your weight division. If I beat Topuria, it's gonna be same. Everybody gonna talk same.
Shifting his focus to his long-term goals, for Makhachev, the path to true legacy lies not in defending against smaller champions, but in moving up a division and capturing a second belt, an accomplishment he believes would cement his place in the sport's history.
If I go up, takes a second belt, this is a legacy.
Yeah.
I want to be like you know. Champ.
From a different viewpoint, Alexander Volkanovski, having shared the cage with both Topuria and Islam, offered a unique perspective on the potential matchup. He believes the fight ultimately hinges on whether Topuria can catch Makhachev clean. Volkanovski noted that Topuria's approach is built around unshakable confidence in his striking, and that he fully trusts he will eventually find the target.
Can Ilia catch him? You know, that's what is, and he definitely can. Ilia's very, especially with his approach, he really backs his strike and his boxing. He really knows that he will eventually find the chin, and he's stoic till that happens, you know what I mean? He is on task, and he doesn't, you know what I mean? He'll go, even if things aren't working, he's still going to try and find it. So
Volkanovski acknowledged that Makhachev would be a tough matchup for Ilia, pointing to Islam's defensive discipline and calculated style. He expects Makhachev to take a cautious approach against Topuria, fully aware of the danger Ilia presents with his knockout power. Volkanovski noted that as the fight goes into the later rounds, it could become increasingly difficult for Topuria, especially against Makhachev's control and endurance.
I think Islam's going to be a tough matchup for him, because Islam can be quite defensive and safe. I think he's going to know he needs to play it safe with Ilia, because he knows Ilia's going to have that puncher's chance. But I just think them later rounds, you know, is going to be very difficult for Ilia. So, but Ilia can, if he puts hands on anyone, like if he traps them, you know, gets them where they don't want to be and lands a nice big shot, it's going to be game over. You know, I mean, he can knock out anyone, even in the lightweight division.
Expanding on his earlier analysis, Alexander Volkanovski remarked that if Ilia initiates the fight with strong grappling or disrupts Islam's takedown defense early on, his perspective on the matchup might shift significantly. Nonetheless, Volk indicated that he intends to rely on what he knows best, that Topuria is a powerful striker with the capability to deliver decisive blows. He maintained that the raw knockout power Ilia brings to the cage makes him as dangerous as any lightweight fighter.
You won't know till I see that at the highest level. So if he starts out-grappling Islam or stop and takedown defense and things like that, then I'm going to be like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing something that I haven't really seen. So now then my opinion might change within the first round. But yeah, I haven't really seen that. So I'm going to go with what I know, and I know we can hit hard. I felt it firsthand. Like, well, I didn't feel, actually, I don't remember it. But it's but yeah, it's again, if he puts his hands, he can definitely catch him. So he's just as dangerous as anyone in that lightweight division.
In response to these notions, Ilia Topuria expressed strong confidence in his position, stating that Dana White would not require him to face a contender before getting a title shot at lightweight. He made it clear that, as an undefeated world champion, there should be no need for him to prove himself further in the division.
Arman, before you go, like, let's just say Dana says, I want you to fight Arman before you fight Islam. Would you entertain that?
He wouldn't tell me that.
He wouldn't tell you that?
No.
Dana would say Islam.
He would say for the belt.
He would say for the belt.
Yeah.
I think so as well, because you're undefeated.
Of course.
Yeah.
There's no way that I have to fight to the #1 contender. I have to fight directly for the belt.
Although Ilia Topuria acknowledged that he isn't sure when a potential title bout with Islam Makhachev might become a reality, he remains hopeful that it could take place by the summer or September. He expressed a strong desire to see the fight materialize soon, aiming for a showdown that would capture the attention of the MMA world.
Personally, I don't know. I hope in summer, maybe in September. I don't know. Whenever it happens, it's gonna be.
In the meantime, Ilia Topuria revealed that his current training routine is focused on preparing for the fighting styles of two top names, Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. He stated that he is specifically preparing for Oliveira in case Dana White asks him to face the Brazilian, ensuring he is ready for that challenge.
Like, have a conversation with you because they want you to feel also comfortable.
Got it.
With the day, with the place, with the opponent, with everything.
Got it.
They figure out with you and you go after that. But at least what they do always with the champions is that they give you at least 12 weeks of preparation.
If you're a champion, they give you that 12-week respect.
At the same time, he continues to train for Makhachev, keeping his options open for a potential title shot against the lightweight champion.
The same thing with Islam. He's southpaw. He moves a little bit different. He tends to go for the takedowns. So we are preparing. I'm so excited. That's why if someone asked me, like, I would love to fight with Islam.
Building on that, Ilia Topuria expressed that a fight against Islam Makhachev would be a monumental opportunity, not just for his career, but for the sport itself. He believes he possesses the skill set to defeat Makhachev.
That will be a great one because I really know that I have the ability to shock the world, because I know that for me it's gonna be like, I know that I'm gonna beat him, but for the world it's gonna be like just what happened. The same thing that happened with Volk, the same thing that happened with Max Holloway. No one never knocked him out, no one did it, and it was like a surprise for everyone. But me personally, I always knew it.
Carrying that same mindset into the Holloway fight, Topuria shared that as he made his walk to the octagon for his fight against Max Holloway, he was filled with gratitude, thanking God for the opportunity to be the first to knock out the former champion. He attributed this deep confidence to the relentless hard work, dedication, and blessings from God as he poured into his craft.
You always
before I walk in the octagon, I was like, thanks God to give me the opportunity to be the first one to knock him out.
Where does the confidence come from?
From hard work and dedication. From God, I think so. And I'm gonna sound a little bit repetitive, but I always prefer to think about, to have the kind of thoughts that make me feel happy, that empowers me.
Echoing that unwavering belief in his abilities, Ilia Topuria confidently stated that if he were to dedicate 6 months exclusively to boxing, without training in any other aspect of MMA, he believes he could step into the ring with anyone and knock them out.
If I prepare for 6 months, like only boxing, I don't do anything about wrestling, only boxing, problem. Put me whoever you want in front of me.
Doubling down, Ilia Topuria addressed the common notion that while he has good boxing for MMA, he wouldn't be able to compete at the same level in a pure boxing ring. He dismissed these comments, stating that whether it's inside the MMA cage, the boxing ring, or even playing chess, he has the mindset and ability to dominate anyone.
And I hear a lot of guys talking about like boxers. No, Ilia, he has a good boxing but for MMA, but he has nothing to do with me in the boxing ring. I'm like, listen, you don't have anything to do with me outside, inside, whatever you want. Like, what you want to do. Even if you want to play a chess match, I beat you.
Building on that, Ilia Topuria acknowledged that he does experience fear, but he believes that both fear and faith require you to trust in the unseen.
Because I feel fear. Of course I do. But both of them, fear and faith, demand you to believe that you never solve. I always prefer to believe in something that makes me feel happy.
As anticipation swells for a potential clash between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev, the MMA world remains divided but electrified. Comment down below who you think would win this fight. If you enjoyed the video, show your support by liking the video and sharing it with an MMA fan. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you are notified each time.